Good morning, students. In continuation with video lecture on chapter 4, that is motion in a plane, we are progressing towards part 8 of the video lecture. As in the previous topic, previous video lecture, we had discussed about the scalar product or dot product of two vectors. We had defined a scalar product or dot product of two vectors. Then we had discussed about the properties of a scalar product of two vectors, and then we had observed certain examples based on the scalar product of two vectors. Now today we will discuss certain numericals based on a scalar product of two vectors, and after that we will discuss about vector product. So one numerical based on the scalar product of vectors is in front of you, and look at the numerical. First of all, understand the numerical, then try to solve it, and I will also give the solution. So look at the numerical. Under the force is a vector quantity, so the three components of the force is written here: 10 I cap minus 3 j cap plus 6 k cap Newton. A body of mass 5 kg moves from position this one to this one. Two positions are given, so from here you can calculate final position minus initial position. You can get the displacement of the body of mass 5 kg, and as you are getting the displacement, then force can be calculated. From this displacement you can calculate you have to find out the work done. The work done is equal to what? Force into displacement. So from here you get the displacement, and force is already given to you. The dot product of force and displacement gives you what? Gives you the work done. Means suppose diagrammatically I am explaining. This is the position, first position, this is the second position, A and B, and the positions are in vector form. It is given the displacement and the force multiplied by displacement, you can get the work done. So we are going to solve the numerical. Look at its solution. The displacement, it is given displacement S is equal to R2 vector minus R1 vector, and R2 vector, it is given 10 I cap minus 3 j cap plus 7 k cap minus 2 j cap plus 7 k cap minus R1, it is given as 10 I cap minus 3 j cap plus 6 k cap. Now it is 6 I cap. R1, it is given 6 I cap. So 10 minus 6, that is 4 I cap, and minus 2 plus 3, minus 2 plus 3, 6 I cap plus 5 j cap plus 5 j cap minus 3 k cap minus 3 k, sorry, minus 3 k cap. So 10 minus 6, 4 I cap, minus 2 minus 7 j cap, and plus 10 k cap. It is the displacement 4 I cap minus 7 j cap. It is the displacement, and now you have to find the work done. Work done is equal to force dot displacement, and force, it is given 10 I cap minus 6 j cap plus 6 k cap dot 4 I cap minus 7 j cap plus 10 k cap, and from here it is 40 plus 21 plus 60, and it is equal to 121. I cap into I cap is equal to 1, and rest are going to be 0. J cap into J cap 1, and rest are going to be 0. K cap into K cap 1, and rest are going to be 0. So by distributive property I had applied here, and from here we had got the value of work done. We had studied about this distributive property while components of vector. Okay students, now look for the next question, very interesting question. Dear students, this is the next question, and the question says that a particle moves in xy plane under the action of force F in xy plane. This is x plane and this is y plane. In xy plane, a particle moves under the action of a force such that the value of linear momentum along x direction is 2 cos t, and along y is 2 sin t. What is the angle between the force and the momentum? You have to find the angle between force and the momentum at any time t. So look at the solution of this question. So dear students, it is given that vector p is equal to px I cap plus py j cap, and the value of px is given in the question, I cap 2 cos t plus j cap 2 sin t, and from here you can calculate the magnitude, that is equal to 2 cos t square plus 2 sin t square, and it is equal to 4 cos square t plus sin square t, and it will be 2. Now since momentum, we had got the magnitude of momentum. Now from the momentum vector we want to calculate the force, and you know that from Newton's second law, force is equal to dp upon dt. So it is equal to d upon dt I cap 2 cos t plus j cap 2 sin t, and from here you can differentiate it as I cap 4 minus 4 sin t plus j cap minus 2 sin t plus j cap 2 cos t. This is the value of force, and from here we can calculate the magnitude of force. Now calculate the magnitude of force. Magnitude of force F is equal to under root minus 2 sin t whole square plus 2 cos t whole square, and it is also equal to 2. On solving it, you get the value 2. Now according to the question, what is the angle between F and P at a given time. So you have to find the angle. For the angle you have to take the dot product between force vector and momentum vector. Dot product between force vector and momentum vector. So F dot P. It can be written as magnitude of F, magnitude of P upon cos theta. But here it is in the component form. So you have to write it as fx into px plus fy into py, and it is minus 2 sin t into 2 cos t plus 2 cos t into 2 sin t, and it is equal to 0. Now theta is what? Theta is equal to cos inverse f dot p upon magnitude of f upon magnitude of p, and f, the value of f dot p is what? It is equal to 0. So theta is equal to cos inverse 0 upon 2 into 2, and theta is equal to cos inverse 0. And what is the value of cos inverse 0? Means cos theta is equal to 0, and it is possible when cos theta is equal to cos 90 degree. So theta is equal to 90 degree. Means in this case F and P, both vectors, force and momentum vectors, are perpendicular to each other or orthogonal to each other. I think this numerical is clear to you, students. It is totally based on the dot product or scalar product. Now we will discuss about the vector product of two vectors. Vector product of two vectors. Of two vectors. As it is clear from the name, vector product means if two vector A and B is two vectors are multiplied, that is cross product. It is also called as cross product. Cross product. So if two vectors, vector A and vector B, is multiplied, then whatever the result we are getting, that result is also a vector quantity. So how can you define the vector A cross vector B? Suppose there is vector A, this is vector A, this is vector B, and the angle between these two vectors is theta. Then the product of these two vectors is given by vector C, which is normal to the plane containing these two vectors, which is normal to the plane containing these two, normal to the plane containing these two vectors, normal to the plane containing these two vectors. So vector C can be written as vector A cross vector B. Vector C can be written as, and it can be written as magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector B into sine theta upon direction. This n cap is the direction, and this is perpendicular to the plane containing vector A and vector B, perpendicular to the plane containing N cap is the direction of vector C and it is perpendicular to the plane containing vector A and vector C. So vector product or cross product of two vectors is defined as the product of the magnitude of two vectors with the sign of angle between them, and the direction of the vector is perpendicular to the plane containing the two vectors and the direction of the cross product of the two vectors can be given by right hand screw rule means as you are curling the finger, the thumb indicates the direction of the vector. So this is about the vector product. Properties of vector product we will discuss. Properties of vector product. Properties of vector product. Properties. The first property of the vector product. Vector product of two vectors is also a vector quantity. It is also a vector quantity, and the direction of this vector is direction of this vector is orthogonal to the plane containing vector A and vector B. Its direction is orthogonal to the plane containing vector A and vector B. Second thing is vector product of two vectors, vector product or cross product of two vectors can never be commutative. Vector product of two vectors can never be commutative. Means what? It means to say that vector A cross vector B never be equal to vector B cross vector A, but it is equal to negative of vector A cross vector B, or you can write a negative of vector B cross vector A. Negative of vector B cross vector A. But magnitude of vector A cross vector B is equal to magnitude of vector B cross vector B cross vector A, and this magnitude is equal to AB. This magnitude is equal to AB sin theta. Suppose we are drawing vector A cross vector. This is vector A, this is vector B. This vector C is A cross B, and if it is like this, vector A cross vector B, then this is this, look at here, A cross B and B cross A. So in this case B cross A, this is B vector B cross vector A, and this is vector A cross vector A cross vector B. The third property is in special cases, the vector product obeys distributive law. Vector product obeys distributive law when the order of the vector is strictly maintained. I will explain the meaning of this. What is the meaning of order of vector is strictly maintained? Just like that, vector A cross vector B plus vector C. It means it can be written as vector A cross vector B plus vector A cross vector C. But the same is not correct if vector B plus C can be written as vector C cross vector B. Vector C cross vector B, then in this case it is so this order should be maintained, then distributive property can be applicable in this case. But if it becomes vector C plus vector B, then the result will going to be changed. Now we will able to find the angle between the vectors. Now in the next property we will find the angle between the vectors. Suppose this is vector A, this is vector B, and both are inclined at an angle theta, and this is the perpendicular, that is the cross product of this vector. Then we have to find the angle between vector A and vector B. So by definition you are knowing that vector A cross vector B can be written as AB sine theta n cap. N cap shows the direction of C vector. This unit vector shows the direction. So magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector B can be written as AB sine theta. If we are talking about the magnitude of vector A cross vector B, this is C vector, nothing with it, this is C vector. And if we are talking about the magnitude of C vector, so it can be written as sine theta magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector B upon AB. Magnitude of vector A, or theta can be written as sine inverse vector A cross vector B upon AB. This is the angle between these two vectors. Now, what is the possibility of maximum value of cross product and minimum value of cross product? In next 2 points we will discuss about the possibility of maximum value of cross product and minimum value of cross product. We know that vector A cross vector B is equal to magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector B into sine theta n cap. Sine theta n cap. So you are saying that vector A cross vector B is proportional to theta, and this is the graph of sine theta, students. So this is the graph of sine theta, and when the sine theta is maximum, this is 0, this is pi by 2, this is pi, this is 3 pi by 2, and this is 2 pi. So the maximum value of theta maximum value of sine theta, this is sine theta, maximum value of sine theta is at pi by 2. Maximum value of sine theta is at pi by 2, that is vector A cross vector B. It gives maximum value when theta is equal to 90 degree, when theta is equal to 90 degree, or you can write it as vector A cross vector B. Its maximum value is equal to magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector B n cap. This is the maximum value of. So if vector A and vector B are orthogonal, then we get vector A, vector B maximum value. Orthogonal means if the two vectors are perpendicular, means this thing perpendicular, then whatever the vector in this direction, it has the maximum value. Next point, minimum. Minimum value when sine theta is equal to minimum, when sine theta is equal to minimum, and when sine theta is equal to minimum, sine theta is equal to minimum and theta is equal to 0 degree or 180 degree. 0 degree 0, 180 degree 0. So vector A cross vector B gives its minimum value, that is equal to 0. Vector product of two non-zero vectors vanishes when the vectors are collinear. When the vectors are collinear means this is vector A and this is vector B, or this is vector A and this is vector B. In both the cases we will get the minimum value. We will get the minimum value of the products. Cross product will be minimum. The next point is self product. Self product of two vectors. Self cross product of two vectors. Self cross product of two vectors means vector A is multiplied by vector A, means both the vectors are same vectors, means magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector A cos 0 degree, because same vector, collinear vector. Sine 0 degree and cap, and sine 0 degree is 0, so self cross product is of two vectors is a null vector. It is a null. Self cross product of two vectors is a null vector. Similarly, unit vectors, in case of unit vectors. In case of unit vectors, means if I cap is multiplied by I cap or j cap is multiplied by j cap or k cap cross product, it is just like self cross product, because these are also unit vectors having magnitude 1 and direction in x-axis, y-axis or z-axis, and the value we always get a null vector. Whatever the value we get is a null vector. Now cross product of vectors, or cross product of unit vectors which are orthogonal, means I cap cross j cap, j cap cross j cap cross k cap, and k cap cross I cap. Cross product of unit vectors which are orthogonal. Orthogonal means I cap, j cap, k cap, or in mnemonics form you can write it as I cap, j cap, k cap. So make it remember I cap cross j cap, I cap cross j cap in anti-clockwise, it is equal to k cap. J cap cross k cap is equal to I cap, and k cap cross I cap is equal to j cap. Hence I cap into j cap is equal to k cap, j cap into k cap is equal to I cap, and k cap into I cap is equal to j cap. But cross products are not commutative. As we know that cross products are not commutative. Cross products are not commutative. Cross products are not commutative, and as cross products are not commutative, so j cap cross I cap, it will be equal to minus k cap. K cap cross j cap is equal to minus I cap, and I cap cross k cap, I cap cross k cap is equal to minus j cap. It means to say that j cap, just as we had moved in anti-clockwise, then I cross j cross k I, and k cross I is equal to j. But now we are moving in clockwise direction. J cross I is equal to minus k cross j is equal to minus I, and I cross k is equal to minus j. Since cross product of vectors are not commutative, so this is like this. Now cross product of vectors in component form, it is very much important to be discussed, and try to grasp it, try to understand it. Last property, in terms of components. In terms of components, we have A cross B. Suppose you are given with vector A is equal to I cap AX plus J cap ay plus k cap az, and vector b is equal to I cap bx plus j cap by plus k cap bz. Then how can you find vector A cross vector B? For this, I cap, j cap, k cap. This thing we will write, and now write the coefficient of I cap, that is Ax, coefficient for vector A, coefficient of j cap Ay and Az, then coefficient of I cap Bx, By and Bz. Now students, look at here how we proceed and try to understand. First we will write I cap, and in case I cap, we leave this colon and this row, so the remaining is Ay, Az, By, Bz. In this, first of all, Ay, Bz, Ay into Bz minus Az into By, Az into By. Now we have to take negatives. Since it is positive, then here negative, so we forget this and this. Now Ax Bz minus Az Bx, plus k cap. So k cap, this colon and this row will be omitted, and it will be like this and like this. Ax By minus Ay Bx. So this is the cross product of vectors in component form. Here students, this is important to note it down, and various questions can be solved in this chapter, and further in the rotational dynamics also various questions will be asked on the basis of this, or certain derivations are also based on this. So it is most important to understand this. Now we will discuss certain examples based on vector product or cross product. Certain examples based on vector product or cross product. Examples. Since vector product of two vectors is a vector, vector product of two vectors is a vector, so it generally relates the rotational physical quantity. Rotational physical quantities. Maximum this application can be observed in case of rotational physics. Rotational dynamics, we will observe this application that cross product of two vectors is a vector, like torque, angular momentum, velocity, force on a moving charge, and magnitude. So first of all, torque, which is rotational analogous of force, and it is written as R cross F. Second is angular momentum. L is equal to R cross P. Angular momentum L is equal to R cross P. Third one, linear velocity in terms of angular velocity. Linear velocity in terms of angular velocity, and it is omega cross R. and this thing you will study in class 12. Force on moving charge q moving with velocity v. F is equal to q v cross d. This is called as Lorentz force. This is not Lorentz force. This is force. This is force on charge q in magnetic field. Force on charge q in magnetic field. Magnetic. So these are the certain examples for cross product or vector product. Some examples I had discussed, which is based on cross product or vector product, in which two physical vector quantities can be multiplied to get a new vector quantities. So this is all about today's discussion. So dear students, in the next video we will discuss 2 or 3 numericals based on vector product, and after that we will discuss about the relative velocity in 2 dimensions, and in that we will discuss about swimmer's problem, rain problem, or the relative velocity, certain relative velocity problems. 2 trains are moving. All these numericals based on the relative velocity on 2 dimensions we will discuss, and after that we will start the projectile motion. So that's all for today, students. Thank you, students. Take care. Have a nice day.